do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Now, don't touch anything this time. Turn that music off. I hear music.
Yeah, it's Patty.
He's the amazing Dr. Gray. He's Mr. Organized. He can organize your life, too. And if rash develops, discontinue use.
This is the world-famous Strictly Business Show with me, Dr. J, the sexiest business show in the world with all the business moves you really need. Strictly DOC.com. It's another Believe This Mondays, if you can believe that, with my favorite podcasters, Patricia Ray, award-winning actress Patricia Ray, an award-winning tough guy, Chris Creme de la Creme of the Believe This podcast, heard on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We do this every Monday. We talk about a lot of things, not necessarily business, but it all comes down to doing business, good, bad, or indifferent. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine. A lot of things going on this week.
We're in February, and you know, January, woo, man,
Woo-hoo.
It just felt like an eternity. Especially for us in Southern California.
Buckle up.
Then, of course, the whole country as well. But that's good. As I get older, I would like the time to slow down a little bit. You know, I mean, I don't need a fire or a national tragedy to slow things down. But I like to stop and smell the roses and realize where I am and be in a place where it's like, wow, there's not so much chaos and I can, you know, enjoy life because based on my age now, I may not double that. But who can? Who can say that? You got 25-year-old people who may not live to see next year. I mean, we had a tragic plane crash last week. Wow. Where, you know, about 64 people got on the plane, and like we all have, got on the plane, no big deal, boarding pass, take your shoes off, go to security, you're sitting there talking, okay, you load the plane, buckle up, okay, flight instructions, blah, 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 we're cleared for takeoff. There we go. Got people at the gate waiting for us. I don't know why this just came up, but I'm going to go with it. Had friends waiting. We've all done that, right?
Oh, yeah.
I got to pick up somebody from the airport. They're playing. What time is the plane coming in? Oh, so coming at 7 o'clock. I'm on my way there to pick them up. And can't wait to see them. Got to get them home. And when people on the flight, on your way home, you say, oh, I got a busy day tomorrow. You know, I got to do this, got to do that. You know, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you know, and I'm not being flippant by this, but remember that show, Get Smart? Maxwell Smart,
Yes.
They missed it by that much. And they were that close to landing on the runway and going on with their lives. That close. They got that close. And one bad incident happened. And I always wonder if there's somebody that missed that flight. Is there somebody that said, you know what? I'm going to take a later flight, or I'm going to take an earlier flight. And we never hear about that. Like, I wonder the late Kobe Bryant, when he was taking off, was there somebody that said, ooh, I could go fly with Kobe. Nah, I'm going to drive instead.
The survivor's remorse.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have people out
I
there.
do have a story.
Please share.
So when I was moving to Los Angeles, the day that 9/11 happened,
Mm-hmm.
I changed my flight like 2 or 3 days before because I was bringing my dog with me and she didn't have her papers from the vet.
Okay.
So I changed the flight that crashed into the towers to the next day so that I can go to the vet that day to get the vaccination papers from my dog. And as I was walking, I lived in Riverdale in the Bronx, and you could see the towers because I lived up on a hill on Ewan Hill. And as I was walking, I could see the towers on fire, and I ran inside, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And my mother's like, the plane crashed into the towers. And then later on, I found out that that was the flight I was supposed to be on.
Get
Holy shit.
out.
I never heard this story.
I'll say it with you too. Holy shit. I mean, I
Yeah.
never do that, but really, Patty?
Yeah. And I
You're a survivor.
actually didn't move to California for another 2 or 3 weeks because I decided not to move. But then my daughter said, you can't, postpone your dreams, mommy. Go to California, be an actress, and, go
Wow.
live your life. I'm going to be okay with dad. But yeah, I was like, and shocked.
Wow.
Shocked.
I don't know
was
anybody I've ever heard that from. Patricia,
Yes,
I've heard
that's a
people
wild story.
taking a late train or something, but nothing like that. So if you didn't make those changes for your dog, those accommodations, you would have been on that plane and you wouldn't be here right now.
This
No,
would not be happening.
that is right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together. I don't know why I started with that, but I just did. And because it's about life.
Came out like this.
And then Patty backs it up, being the great co-host that she is, and just zings us. Wow.
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 Yeah, it's crazy. And I lived with my dog here for 15 years, and she passed away like 10 years ago.
Oh,
But yeah, she
man.
saved my life.
Saved your life and didn't even.
Wow.
Man. Okay. So it happens.
Well, good show, everybody. I don't know how we follow
Yeah,
that.
I don't know how we follow that. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
See ya.
No, yeah, I was wondering because like Kobe Bryant, it's like, listen, I knew it was fog. I remember that morning because it was foggy. I live in the Inland Empire, and I remember how foggy it was that morning. And they left from John Wayne Airport. I did my doctoral work at Pepperdine at the Irvine campus, which is right across the street from the John Wayne Airport.
Oh, is it really? I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
right off the 405 there. And so I knew I'd driven to class on a Saturday morning, and when it was foggy, and I knew it was foggy. I know fog, it's right by the water. Fog gets thick out there. And I was shocked to find out that people actually went up in a helicopter, and that I knew right where it was. I said, I've driven through that fog in the morning. They actually took a helicopter out of there? Somebody actually let them go?
I know.
It's like,
Isn't that?
yeah.
It's.
Do we know who made the decision? Was it the pilot or did Kobe like, no, we're going?
The word was Kobe just asked him, are we going to be all right? And the pilot said, we should be all right. That was the official conversation that they had. And
Isn't it? Yeah, that's what happened with RFK Jr. and his wife.
oh,
remember?
John F. Kennedy Jr. when they flew to try to do Martha's Vineyard for the wedding.
Yeah, and
If they just
On a
would
mountain, didn't it?
and I'm not, I'm not dishing on anybody or anything like that, but yeah, at one point, if you just looked up and said, because it was obvious, like, oh man, it's cloudy. You know what? Let's just take the car today. It's cloudy. Let's just take the drive today. No big deal. But if you was with Kobe Bryant, not him, and it wasn't your call, and you said, most of us probably would have said, I'm going with Kobe. Kobe, this is gonna happen to Kobe Bryant. He's not gonna fall
You
out.
would think,
Kobe's
Kobe's done this a bunch. He should be fine. Yeah,
fine.
he is.
Yeah. But would anybody have the guts to say, Kobe, I don't know, man. I'll meet y'all there. I'm gonna be a little late, but I'm getting this car because I don't like this. And who would have the guts to do that? And nobody did. Or maybe somebody did, and they don't want to talk about that.
If a
And they
helicopter
got
pilot tells
pressured.
me it's going to be fine, I'm believing the pilot's going to be fine. I put faith in the man that knows, right?
Well, the man that knows is God. The man in the sky who created
That's
the
true.
fog.
I mean, nobody knew that when those that ice skating team got on that plane.
Mhm.
They didn't know.
Who would think? I'm an ice skater. I'm representing my country. I'm on a plane with a bunch of my friends. We had a great time. I'm young. I got my whole life ahead of me. Why would this happen to me now? Man, we got deep
It's
this
very
morning.
random.
We started
Yeah.
this morning deep.
I'm sorry, guys. I hope your
Pay
morning gets
attention.
better.
Pay attention to the road if you're driving.
But pay attention to the signs. The signs are all around us. There's a
They
there's a,
are.
Well,
there's a
that
script.
plane crash, there was nothing they could do.
Well, yeah. Well, see, we don't know. Sometimes people rush. You know, we can catch a letter flight. No. Let's get on this one. You know, we will
Well,
never know. We'll never know. Somebody
have
said,
you ever
that.
considered that a military helicopter might hit you on landing?
No.
And what was that helicopter doing on that flight
It's
path?
still unclear.
It's
Still unclear, I think.
still unclear what was going on in their minds at the time, but I'm not an aviation expert. I barely like to fly. I couldn't tell you how far they see things. It's night, the distance of things, how much faith they put in the controllers. Yeah, you're right, Chris. You couldn't know. You can't know because I guess that goes back to looking at life, taking our time, stop and smell the roses. Because there are signs all around us that could say stuff. And we could write it off as crazy. And, you know, somebody could have said, don't make that trip. Take a later flight. Or take an earlier flight. Because that flight was coming back pretty late at night. So, you know, was this the last flight? You know, we just don't know. But they're gone. That's one thing we do know. All their problems are over. Because that's it. And they missed it. They came so close. And when I'm flying by I have a wife and 2 sons. When I'm flying by myself, I'm always worried because if something happens to me, it's like,
Yeah.
my family's by themselves. It's terrible. But when we're all flying together, I sleep like a baby. Because if we're all together, we're all going down together. So I'm not worried. And I feel better about us all going down together than me going down by myself. I know that sounds strange, but you know, we're gonna go.
That's what
all
she
go
said.
together.
That's what she said.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to go there. I don't know what happened. But I guess it's good to talk about these things. Why not? Why not?
It is. I mean, I mean, the fact that the president just passed it off on a DEI hire,
Yeah.
which we talked about the other day on Patricia Ray Fridays. What are your feelings on that, Dr. J?
Well, like I posted on social media, he said, you know, evidently the responsibility wasn't of a white male. It was either a Black, Hispanic, an LGBTQ, a woman, or a disabled vet, or somebody
It was a presumption.
somebody who graduated from the community college. Because those are DEI initiatives, right, to get the word out. So I mean, and that's a bold thing. Now that's just crazy because he didn't even. We haven't even launched the investigation. We don't even know who was on duty. And the fact to say that somebody unqualified was there, it's just insane. And
But didn't he fire like half the controllers and staff,
FAA people,
and
yeah, things with that have to do with DEI initiatives because he's all twisted like everybody else to think DEI is about qualifications. And let me give you another DEI initiative. When I was in radio full time, I got a new job at the radio station Jack FM. And one of my friends got the job too because the new station, the format had just changed, and he couldn't do the job. And let me tell you why. Not because he wasn't qualified. The station was based in an old building in Santa Monica, downtown.
Santa Monica.
And the building was so old. It was a 2-story building. The radio station was at the top. And he couldn't do the job. You know why he couldn't do the job? His name was Steve Paulette, a good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a while. Steve Paulette had an accident about years before that. He was a runner. He got hit by a car. And he got paralyzed. He was in a wheelchair.
So he couldn't get up?
He couldn't get upstairs to do the job. That, my friends, is a DEI initiative. He should not be able to not take a job he's qualified for because he can't get upstairs because there's no elevator in the building. Once again, that's a DEI issue. He's disabled. Yep. He's in a wheelchair. They have no elevator. They had to give him another job somewhere else, a part of the company on the radio station, because they couldn't accommodate him because the building was so old. It was like a landmark or something, so they couldn't put an elevator in there. But that's
hang on, Dr. J. Let me pull up my MAGA, the English translator.
Okay.
DEI, dumb black people. That's the MAGA translator.
Couldn't be dumb Hispanic people or anything else, or dumb gay people.
could
You
be
have to
that
choose
too. Yeah,
choose the
yeah,
black
yeah.
people. Okay, Chris.
Because that is
Or
the
it could
natural
be
go-to
dumb
for most people.
ethnic ignorance.
Yeah.
That works better.
It could be that,
That works
too.
better.
But he's catering to his base.
I'm trying to be
and,
shocking. Come on.
And you shocked the hell out of me on that one.
The black people, Jesus.
Yeah, there's a perception that this is unqualified people. If something goes wrong, it's somebody that was hired through a DEI initiative, and that's just not the case.
It's pretty twisted that it's so commonly thrown around now, just acceptingly by the president, the vice president, people high-ranking political positions. Well, it's obviously the DEI thing. Thank God we got DEI out of the way. We're gonna not have that happen anymore.
And you got women
It's-
talking about it too, and it's like you're included in that.
Yep.
Even white women, you're included in the DEI initiative. All right.
You're a minority.
Yes.
You're a female.
Because the whole thing is based on there's white men in the world, and there shouldn't be just white men working all over the place and getting the job. So you're included
Except
in that
me.
too.
Always hire me.
Yeah, always hire
Except
Chris.
for Chris.
Creme de la
Who's a
creme.
Chris is a white man, by the way.
Oh,
I'm short.
he's white.
I'm
White as
in
snow.
the short community.
We're off to a fabulous start on Believe This Mondays. Man, we went deep and then we went crazy. All right.
Deep dive.
It's the Believe This podcast. You've got the world famous Strictly Business Show with me, Dr. J, the sexiest business show in the world on New HD Radio.